I would give anything to give him the childhood that I had. We didn't have this.
If you've ever worried that devices are taking over your kid's childhood, this story is for you.
Tulsa is part of a huge national study that is trying to decode the secret of how technology is affecting our children's development and even changing their brains. Post up! 12-year-old Maverick Sandstra loves playing outside, basketball, and Boy Scouts, which makes him something of a rarity among his friends.
I'm outside more than most people. I adventure a lot. I like to go hike and stuff like that. And it's better because my mind is more open to the world.
Just how much different Maverick's mind might be is a $300 million question.
Can you hear me?
Maverick is one of almost 12,000 children taking part in the biggest study of adolescent brain development ever attempted. It's being run by the National Institutes for Health at 21 locations across the country, including the Laureate Brain Institute in Tulsa. They'll follow the kids for 10 years, tracking everything from the effects of drug and alcohol use to the hot topic of the day, screen time.
This is the first device generation. They were all born within a year or two of the release of iPhone. A lot of them, their birth, their first time they were walking was announced on Facebook.
American teens now spend an average of 4.5 hours a day on their phones. And the truth is, no one knows what all that technology may or may not be doing to their developing brains.
We're an ongoing generational experiment, and it's not just in the U.S. This is a worldwide experiment, and we can't keep up with it.
The ABCD study released its first wave of information at the end of last year. The most dramatic finding?
We're seeing differences in brains related to screen time. Overall, a lot of screen time can show that the brain is maturing a little bit faster.
The red on this chart represents a thinning of the cortex, the part of the brain that processes information from the 5 senses. Breslin says that's where they saw changes in kids with lots of screen time.
Maturation is normal, but theirs is just a little bit earlier than their non-screen using peers.
And you don't know at this point if that's good or if that's bad.
We don't.
Well, that sounds alarming. Researchers say for most kids in this study, there don't seem to be many negative consequences so far. In fact, kids with lots of social network connections are thriving. There is an exception, though, one parents need to hear.
Extensive gaming and video activity, those kids where we see more kids with problems.
Laureate Brain Institute Director Martin Paulus says the problems were most evident in children who are already at risk from issues such as ADHD. For them, more than 4 hours a day of videos and gaming can spell trouble.
Sure. Okay. Thank you. I love you.
Love you too.
Brandy Burke says it's a struggle she sees every day in her 12-year-old son, Dylan.
When they say that it's like a drug and it's addictive, I mean, he'll have withdrawals. And he broke through my bedroom door to be able to get to his electronics.
Burke is hoping being part of this study will help provide answers in the coming years for her family and hundreds of thousands of others around the country who are also struggling. One thing is already certain: these devices are changing our world, and there is no going back.
You think it's just an electronic, but it's not. It's literally a gateway.
We really are living through a natural experiment.
So we're just getting started on trying to find some answers. Like we said, this study is going to go for 10 years, so there'll be lots of waves of information that come from it. But Tulsa is right in the thick of things. One of the biggest studies going on in the nation is right here.
Yeah, really fascinating. Still so many questions that need to be answered.
Yeah, and we'll get it. You know, it's going to take a lot of time to figure out what it's doing, but hopefully they'll be able to provide parents with some real specifics.
Kids with their birthdays announced on Facebook. I thought that was really poignant. Yeah, growing up in that era is so different. Yeah. All right, great report.